$3,000. That's the cost of one filter inside a brand new tractor, and replacing it is number one on this list of reasons smart buyers are buying 30-year-old machines instead. And that filter isn't a defect, it's the law. Right around 2013, an emissions rule called Tier 4 Final landed on nearly every tractor above 25 horsepower, and it dragged a whole stack of expensive parts on board with it. The dealer loves that stack. You're going to pay for it for 20 years. So here's the deal. 7 things on a new machine quietly draining your wallet, the 3 older models I'd put my own money on, and the 1 model year that draws the line. Number 1. The diesel particulate filter. If you've shopped a new compact, you've heard a salesman say the word regen like it's nothing. Here's what it actually is. That filter traps soot, and to clean itself, it has to torch that soot off at around 1100 degrees while you're trying to work. And if most of your day is low RPM loader work, idling around the yard, the exhaust never gets hot enough to burn clean, so the filter just loads up faster. You can force a manual regen, but that means parking the machine and burning fuel to clean a part that only exists to pass a test. Kubota schedules that filter for cleaning or replacement at about 3,000 hours. A brand new one from the dealer runs close to $3,000 for the part alone. A cleaned one is cheaper, sure, but here's the twist. After you swap it, the computer won't clear the codes until a dealer plugs in with software you're not allowed to have. So you own the filter. You don't own the reset. Remember that, because it comes back. Number 2. The way that new engine even gets its fuel. The old machines used a mechanical injection pump, a chunk of steel, no computer. Runs on a steady supply of clean diesel and basically refuses to die. But the new ones use common rail, electronic, firing fuel at over 23,000 psi through parts machined to the width of a hair. Get water in that system and it doesn't cough, it grenades. One owner of a newer Kubota got water in his and was staring at a $7,500 bill for the pump and injectors. The old pump? You could rebuild it on the bench with hand tools. Number 3. The jug of fluid your grandfather never needed. It's called DEF, and on the bigger machines it gets sprayed into the exhaust to scrub the emissions. Fine, until it's cold. DEF starts to freeze at 12 degrees. It crystallizes, it clogs the injector, a sensor throws a fault, and the tractor drops itself into limp mode right when you need it most, in the dead of winter, moving snow. There are heaters in the tank, but heaters fail too, and then you're stranded by a coolant the size of a milk jug. Number 4. The regen cycle itself, and this one comes straight from the people who fix these for a living. A guy with 25 years in material handling put it plain. The regen, the DEF, the filter, every one of them is a system stacked with sensors, wires, and a computer, and every sensor is one more thing that breaks. Now pause. Number 1, number 3, number 4. The filter, the fluid, the burn cycle. Those aren't 3 separate problems. They're one regulation, Tier 4 Final, and number 2, that electronic injection. Is the computer hired to police all of it? 4 traps, 1 rule. And if you've made it this far, you already wrench on your own equipment. Subscribe. This channel pulls apart something every single week. Number 5. The horsepower con. You'd think the fix is simple. Just buy smaller, stay under 25 horsepower, where the filter rule eases off. But the manufacturers thought of that. Take the Kubota L2501. It's essentially the older L30-800 engine, deliberately turned down to 24.8 horsepower, so it lands just under the line. You pay full price for an engine they choked on purpose. That's not an accident. That's arithmetic. Number 6. The moment you drive it home. A new compact runs anywhere from $14,000 to $23,000 and up, and like any new vehicle, it bleeds value the second it leaves the lot. But the old iron does the opposite. By one analysis, a used Kubota holds something like 75% of its value, and owners routinely sell theirs after a decade for close to what they paid. Drop the oldest tractor still running on your place in the comments. I read those. Number 7, and this is the one that should make you angry. Remember that dealer software from number 1? The reset you're not allowed to have? That's not a Kubota quirk. That's the whole industry. And John Deere built a wall around it. Their diagnostic software, Service Advisor, the full version only works for dealers. It got so bad the Federal Trade Commission and a stack of state attorneys general sued Deere in January of 2025. Then in April of 2026, Deere agreed to pay $99 million to settle a farmer class action over exactly this. So you bought the tractor, but you didn't buy the right to fix it. A 30-year-old machine has no such wall. So that's the list, and I know how it sounds coming from me. A guy telling a crowd that changes its own hydraulic fluid that a tractor might break. The point was never to scare you off iron. It's to hand you the part the lot won't. So here's the other half. The 3 older machines I'd actually spend my own money on, and that model year I promised you. First, the value play. The Ford compacts from the early 80s, the 1710 and the 1910. Built by Shibara in Japan, every bit the equal of a Yanmar or a Kubota, with simple mechanical injection and parts that cross-reference across a dozen badges. The 1710 is a 26 horsepower 3-cylinder, dead simple. Honest caveat, the dealer network for these is thin now, so you're sourcing parts online and doing the wrenching yourself. For this crowd, that's a feature, not a bug. Second, for the green blooded among you, the John Deere 4000 series compacts, the 40-100 up through the 40-400, built late 90s into the early 2000s. Yanmar diesels, naturally aspirated, no turbo, no filter, no def, and you can still walk into a Deere dealer for parts. But the catch is, the mid-mount mowers and backhoes are model specific and can get pricey if the machine shows up without them. Buy the one that already has its attachments bolted on. Third, the one I'd put my own money on. The Kubota L series from the Grand L era, the L2850, the L2950, the L3010. And here's that model year I promised. Anything built through about 2002 still used a fully mechanical injection pump. No electronics deciding whether your tractor runs that morning. That's the line. Buy 4-wheel drive every time. And on the hydrostatic ones, run the loader up a grade before you pay a dime, because a tired one won't climb. Pop the radiator cap while you're at it. You want clean green coolant and no oily film, because chocolate milk sludge in there means a head gasket and a project you never signed up for. Caveat, everyone knows these are good now, so prices have crept up. Still worth it, but that part is your call. So the whole thing comes down to one line. Before 2013, you owned a machine. After it, you increasingly rent permission to use one. That's the gap, and now you can spot it from clear across the lot. The smartest buyer on the property isn't the one with the newest paint. It's the one who bought the machine he can fix in his own barn, with no computer, no dealer, and no jug of fluid that freezes in January. If you want to see exactly how to spot a worn-out injection pump before you hand over a dime, I broke that one down next. YouTube thinks you'll like that video, so click it. And if you made it all the way to the end of this one, you already know which kind of buyer you are. Subscribe,